Today on Kill Count, we're looking at a figure from modern day currency,
Someone who reduced global CO2 emissions,
someone who promoted freedom of religion.
who created the largest land empire in history.
8% of men from Asia are related to him,
He was one of the first to use horses for war.
and he created one of the world's first international postal systems. Yes, that's right, you guessed it. It is Temujin,
You guys might know him better as
Genghis Khan. We gave him a 9 out of 10 for infamy because pretty much everyone knows who Genghis Khan is.
Let's talk about his rise to power really quickly. So he was born around 1162. His clan dissolved, leaving him behind. So he sought refuge in another clan, quickly rose the ranks there, conquered Mongolia, and then conquered the rest.
Pretty much took over most of the known world at that time. He was also a frontline fighter. Like he fought within his ranks, fought for his army. He was responsible for about 1.7 million kills himself.
That's kind of a rough estimate, though, because first off, censuses were way wonkier back in the time.
Because it was 1200.
And it's kind of hard to get that accurate kill count.
Because, we never know what's happening on the front lines, but a lot of estimates put him there. It was also rare. It's rare for a lot of modern military leaders to fight on the front lines, but back then it's a lot more common. So because of that, we gave him a 10 out of 10 for personal kills.
Not a single person that we could find in history has killed more people personally with sword through body
than Genghis Khan. Like you really can't beat that. So he also fought a big war with China. After he united Mongolia, he headed south. He was one of the only people to breach the Great Wall of China in over 2,000 years. And a lot of what he did was raiding and pillaging the Silk Road and other major cities in China. And he eventually took over the entirety of northern China. And then about 30 million deaths came from that.
He also went to war in the Middle East. The Persian population before Genghis Khan was pretty high. This was actually the fractured Persian Empire, but about 10 to 15 million people later, the Mongolians invaded. So they reduced large areas to nearly a tenth of their population.
Look at the expansion of that empire. It's crazy. So he's taking over all of these Persian successor states, almost reaching the Byzantine Empire at this time.
There's also Nishapur, which is one example of a city that he just fully wiped out because one of his friends got hurt. So he killed every single living man, woman, child, baby, dog, anything that breathed, killed.
Even animals. And he used that as an example to show how ruthless of a dictator he was in his empire.
The Mongolians pretty much used join us or fear us till you join us.
So we gave him a 9 out of 10 for political kills because a lot of his kills are motivated around expanding his territory, taking over new areas.
One of the other things that he used besides just brute force was horses. He was one of the first to use horses in war, and he also used them not just for on the front lines, but as better communication through wartime and as well as post offices within the peaceful times.
Yeah, which didn't happen anywhere else. So fast communication. So we gave him a 7 out of 10 for creativity. I mean, in using horses for war was very unique in that time, really helped him.
But then the second and third battle, he just kept doing the same thing.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah. So a lot of his kills came from war. Self-agency, though, he rose through the ranks. He united Mongolia, took over one of the world's largest empires, largest continuous empire. We gave him an 8 out of 10 for self-agency.
Yeah, he did that all because he wanted to. No one was the empire at the time. He made that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how he died in battle, though. There's many rumors of how he died, but the leading theory is that he died due to an infection from an arrow wound. So he went down fighting with his troops. So did he get away with it? Not really, but he did make the empire and make it last long.
So, and he went down fighting. So I feel like we had to give him a 5 out of 10 for always continuing to go with it. So that's an overall kill score of 8 out of 10 with a total kill count of 50 million people. But did he do anything good?
So he did have a positive climate impact. So when you're killing that many people, they can't produce CO2. You got cities wiped out. You got people wiped out. About 700 tons a year were estimated to be saved because of him.
Pretty ironically, having a climate impact by killing 50 million people, but nonetheless.
Domestication of horses, he didn't do this alone. He kind of sped it up, but
that was a huge technological leap for the time. So in conclusion, didn't really save any lives, but benefit of the doubt, he probably saved some of his own people. Lives created.
Well, he had one main wife. He had hundreds of side wives, though, and thousands of partners. Every time they took a new village, he found a new partner. About 8% of Asians are actually his descendants today, and likely more as a direct result. We don't know everyone's DNA sample.
But there are a ton of people from that region, and they find that through like Y chromosome links that link directly to Genghis Khan.
So overall, we have a huge percentage of the world population that was killed at the time. 8% was crazy. It
If you
still
remember
is
any of
crazy.
our other videos, the red sliver should never be this large. It shouldn't be visible. And he has 8% of the total world's population.
And a lot of that was personally involved.
Now, keep in mind, census estimates for the 1200s is not the most accurate. However, most estimates have him between 5 and 12% of the world's population, or between 40 and 60 million kills overall.
So thank you guys for watching, and join us next time on Kill Count.